Blessings. My name is Queen Sister, and I represent It Takes a Village organization. And we're here to address the unorthodox situation taking place in the Chicago killing field of the Roseland Community. A situation of dead black women and the continuation of Roseland rapes. It's an issue that we've been dealing with now and combating for 15 years. It's also the flip side of the public safety issue in Chicago that Rahm Emanuel, the politicians, and the superintendent do not want to deal with and address. Here on 115th in Harvard, we discovered the body of 21-year-old Dominique Ferguson, who was stuffed in a suitcase and placed here. As if she was trash. It appears that the politicians are not concerned, but I want you to know that these are the faces in the city that cares about what's really going on here. You've watched folks run around for over a month through Chicago, wasting time and scattering energy, with no plans, no solutions, and no serious demands. I'm going to introduce to you a family member of Dominique Ferguson, and he needs to vent and express himself. Introduce yourself, brother.
My name is Calvin Shavers, and I'm a relative of Dominique's, and I'm out here to support her and also support sister as far as getting some things done with these pedophiles in the homes here in Roseland, that you have a bunch of pedophiles living in and the community doesn't know. Thank you.
Thank you. And here we have Timothy. Where are you? Come stand. This is Timothy Morgan, the son of Linda Morgan, and we pulled her body from a dumpster in 2009 on 110th and Normal, a block away from where she lived. Introduce yourself.
My name is Timothy Morgan. I lost my mother, Linda Marie Morgan, as of October 2009. She was found strangled to death. Her body was naked. The police didn't recover her body until 1:30 afternoon. She was in the dumpster for 2 days. Happened a block away from my home, and it's too early. She didn't have to leave that early. And this is like the third time I heard something of this in the Roseland community. It's too much. It's too much.
And in saying so, allow me to introduce Kupla. Kupla, many of you know, he's a seasoned warrior, chief on this battlefield. He's been out here for over 30 years, combating the crime, the violence, and the homicide here in what the nation have come to know as the city of Chirac. Tell them how you feel about black women dying in the community of Roseland.
Personally, I've been kicking butts and taking names. And I don't think that no woman should be disrespected, because any woman disrespected could be my mother, my niece, my granddaughter, my daughter, my auntie, a cousin. And I don't see there's no justification for what's going on here in Roseland. So that's how I truly feel about it. If anybody got any information about what's going on, they need to step up to the plate and let other people know who's doing it. You know, because we all in this together. Next time might be somebody in your family. Okay? So, peace and blessings to each and everybody, and stay focused.
Stay focused. Is there anybody else who would like to say something? Sister Africa. I do want you to be identified, though. This is Sister Africa here. And it's a blessing to be honored with your presence. I know, I understand.
Can I ask
Allow
a
me to
question?
present to you before your camera go off. Reason why we get this. Observe the signature here. This is a signature of Mayor Rodney White, who signed off on the Village Panacea. The Village Panacea is a culturally competent homicidal prevention, crime reduction, violence elimination, and self-sufficient strategy. It's culturally competent because nobody is enduring what we are enduring as a culture of people.
Hi, I'm Naeem Latif with the Media Connection News, and we are here at 92nd in Indiana, where there was a hostage standoff for a while here, and it was a bit tense, but we understand that there was a surrender. And we're here with a neighbor who owns the whole thing. And if you can give us your name and tell us exactly what happened.
I'm Rodney White. I stay right here, 92A South Indiana. Actually, I was coming from the post office, and a friend of mine that stays in the Chatham Club, he called me like, it's going down on your block. They got the feds out here. So I'm thinking like, what are you talking about? So when I pulled up, I saw the police. They had the command vans out here. They had the SWAT. They had police officers with assault rifles. And what happened was, apparently, it's a house down here. You see it 92nd at the end towards 93rd in Indiana.
Yeah.
It's a Section 8 house. And they got some young guys in there that's been around in the neighborhood since the top of the year. Been around sticking up the elderly and, you know, preying on anybody they can. Catching them usually coming from 95th from by the Gillespie Public School. They rob them. They've been taking these senior citizens. Some of these, see, because in this community, this is West Chesterfield, for those who don't know. But, you know, the elderly, they feel safe. You know, they come out, they out in the yard. Out in the garage working, and they see that, and they've been like robbing them, taking their debit cards. There's one guy that was out here earlier. He's a lawyer. His father's a lawyer. They robbed him and they pistol whipped him so bad that he was blind in one eye right now. So they had robbed somebody on 93rd and Wabash earlier today, maybe about 12 o'clock.
So you say they live in?
Yeah, they live in that house. It's about 4 young boys in there. And it's a mom, I think it's a female in there. It's some 2 little babies in there. But they apparently robbed somebody on 93rd and Wabash. And the male lady, I think it was a male man or whatever the male carrier, whether it was male or female, I'm not sure. But they saw him. So the police got on them and chased them back into the house.
Oh, so that's where they...
So that's how the standoff started. They had guns on them. So that's how that whole thing went. And they was out here... I think I got out here maybe about 2 o'clock, close to 2, and maybe about 3, 2 of them came out, surrendered, and then the girl came out with the babies. She came down, and there was a guy standing right here, got the baby. They locked her up too.
So how many total had they locked up from that house?
I think it was a total of 4. And, 4 guys and then the girl, so 5.
And what about her children she had?
It was a guy that came and got the children. I don't know if that was the father of the children or what, but he got the children and left. But they had her over here. They cuffed her up too. So the mama came down and told them they had to get a warrant, and they wasn't letting them in the house. So I don't know if the mama got locked up too, but the first 2, they marched them down the block down here, and they put them in the I think the paddy wagon. And then, but the other 2, I think the other 2 came out the back. Because we didn't see the other 2 come out the front. But they got the warrant. That's why the detectives, they all out there now. They don't went in that house. They're probably trying to find the guns or whatever.
And you know exactly which house it was? Is it one on the end
It's
on this side
it's
or the other side?
the second to the last house on this side, across the street. You can see the detectives. They all standing in front of the house. So, but maybe about 30 minutes ago, they all walked in the house. So they got the warrant. Because they wouldn't have been able to go in there.
I see. So how long this whole thing lasted? Was it maybe an hour?
No, what was I about? About 3, maybe close to 4 hours.
Wow.
It was a while.
Okay.
As far as the standoff, I know I've been out here about 2.5, 3 hours. So I don't know exactly when it started, but we've been out here for a minute.
Wow. Yeah, I saw the police cars that
they had the fire trucks out here. They had the ambulance out here in case the situation got ugly. You know, they had the ambulance and everything. The helicopters was out here. You know, the news, the helicopters was out. I had my brother, he live in Indiana. He called me from Indiana asking me what's going on. So
did they tell the residents to stay in the house, or did people come out watching?
Well, down there, everybody was out. You know, they had, you know, people coming from all the way back on Michigan, Wabash, the next block, because they had it taped off.
Yeah.
You couldn't go, but actually the police had to walk me to the house because my mom was in there, so I had to go in there to check on her. So they actually escorted me to the door. They told me to stay in the house, but of course I didn't. I came back out.
So now, did everybody in the neighborhood here know that this was the house where the robbery?
Yeah, I mean, we've been having problems with them. You know,
this is the first time anybody called the police
right here. No, it's not the first incident. There was an incident. One of the little boys had robbed somebody. It was a younger dude. He pulled up right in front of the house and jumped out and was shooting at them. One of them guys, one of the same little boys, he got shot in the leg. And then maybe about a month ago, they shot the house up. Like, it was like in the daytime. You know, you could actually see it's still bullet holes in the paneling on the windows right now.
So these residents have been causing this problem for the whole community. This is the first time when the police have actually come and taken everybody out. And
no, this is the first time it got to this extent, where it escalated to this point where they need a SWAT and all of that. I mean, they didn't. I've seen the police at that house. I've seen them bringing not necessarily the same boys. I'm not sure, but I've seen boys coming out of handcuffs and all that. So, you know, it just has never gotten to this extent where they had to have the SWAT out here and, you know, assault rifles and all of that. So that's the first time I saw that. But, you know, we've been, you know, it's a community organization around here. So, you know, it's been block club meetings. This is West Chesterfield.
West Chesterfield.
Yeah.
So the community organization has met, talked about the violence, things like that.
Talked about that house because at first it's a sergeant that stays right here at this house where that Buick is.
Yeah.
And he had been trying to figure out who owned the house because of that shooting that took place. And I was telling you about where they shot that boy in his leg. Because they've been trying to get them up out of here. But it's a Section 8 house, so they didn't know who owned it.
Well, it says a lot. You know, one of the things that you have to go through the procedures before you can actually get somebody out, even though you know that that's the problem.
It's probably gonna be. They probably gonna get them out of there now. You know, especially since what this didn't happen like this. But see, the problem is, you know, a lot of people don't want to identify, you know, the criminals. You know, it takes the community to come together and not be afraid to step up and take control of this our neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? I mean, the police are doing what they do and we pay taxes for them. But at the same time, the community has to come together and not allow, you know, these people to be in a position to do this type of stuff.
So has that been the thing that maybe delays them being more forceful and coming after this house, people being hesitant to identify them?
I think so. I think so. But the guy who I was telling you about, his father who lost his guy, he said he knew who it was. And he said he told the police. And they really didn't do anything. So, you know, I'm not sure how that situation unfolded and what was the outcome of it. But, you know, I think that's the reason why it was continuing to happen. Because, you know, you got elderly people, they're afraid. You know what I'm saying? Like, it takes people that are not afraid of what the outcome could possibly be, or, you know, whatever threats might come or whatever, to step up and say, we're not going to tolerate this in our neighborhood. You know, because I've been over here 40 years, you know, and I know most of the people in this community are senior citizens, elderly people, retired people. You got Johnson family, Ed Gardner, Judge Pencham, Clay Evans stay up across 95th Street, you know, and that's just the type of community it is. So it's never been, I mean, you know, you got crime in every community to a certain extent, but it's never been anything like this. Consistently. I mean, these robberies are like back to back. It's not like spaced out. Over this year, there's been several robberies in the neighborhood.
So it seems like this particular group has gotten bolder because people have not.
Because they feel like they can get away with it. Right. I mean, the guy that they walked down the block when they had the 2 surrender, one of the little guys, I looked at him and I was driving on 93rd, and my truck was down there. I had a new truck, and he was looking at me. And like I say, I know one of the little guys that be with him. I grew up with his father, so I done seen a couple of them. I haven't seen all of them, but.
So how old do they appear to be? The ones that have been doing the robbery?
18.
Wow.
Maybe 20 at the oldest, but like 18, 19. They
So-
some shorties.
So the woman with the children, is she a mother? Is she a sister? Of them?
I'm not sure.
Does she
I'm
seem
not sure.
like she was under 30?
Yeah, she look young too. All of them is at the oldest in their 20s, early 20s.
Wow. That says a lot.
But you know, they hang out in the garage behind the house shooting dice and smoking weed, and they be out on the porch. They be out sitting out on the porch smoking weed, and you know, they like bold with it because they feel like nobody's gonna do anything. You know, so, and that's what the head of the community organization, she was out here, her husband was out here. You know, they just had a meeting about 3 weeks ago where they were saying that they're gonna start putting up cameras. Everybody had to sign a petition to agree. They want the cameras on the street poles and in the alleys because they catching some of these elderly people coming home from work. They're getting out their cars, they in the garages, and they run up in the garage. Stick them up while they
So with the community organization, don't they try to know who is in each house, like, you know, block clubs, knowing what's the name of the family who lives there? How effective has that been? As far
You
as
know, overall, that's what we do. But as far as that like, because I can remember when they were renovating the house, and you know, because that house was like boarded up. So whoever got the house, you know, they fixed it up. But I really wasn't paying attention until recently to the traffic that was coming in and out that house, because there was another family that was in that house briefly. But then when the young people got in there, I didn't know if that was like their children or family members or what. But as I started noticing the traffic, then I realized that it was a different family that was in there. So, and then I had found out from the leader of the organization, or the head, I forgot her name, but she the one that let me know that it was a Section 8 house. So, you know, with Section 8 houses, they have a family in there, they lose their voucher, they move them out, they move somebody else in there. So they don't really care. As long as they getting their money, they don't care who's in that house. If you get the voucher, because I done did Section 8 before, and it's like most of the owners of houses, they know it's guaranteed money with Section 8, so they really don't care who in there.
Right.
And the more children you have, the bigger the voucher is. So that's more money for the owner.
Well, that's something we have to take a look at,
Yeah,
especially if people are abusing it, and you have people who are young, unsupervised, no principles.
Yeah.
So, you know, it is something that a community organization has to come together and deal with. Now, do you happen to know who the alderman in this area is?
In this area, truthfully, I don't.
Well, take a look at that, because
Truthfully, I don't.
you know they need to be on top of it. Well, I appreciate you giving us the
Oh,
inside
no problem.
info.
No problem.
And I'm hoping that the people that they took away don't end up coming right back.
Well, I
because
know
of some kind of
for a
technicality.
fact when you have SWAT, and, you know, you got people like that out here, the SWAT teams and those big command vans, and sergeants and all of that costs money.
It does.
So they're gonna slap some extra money on that bond.
Yeah.
So them bonds gonna be kind of high, especially they know it was guns involved, and then just off the fact that there was a mail carrier that witnessed it, you know, that's even more money, because you know that's a government official right there.
Yeah.
They work for that's a government job. So.
Now, had they tried to attack the mail carrier at all, or?
No, I don't think so. I don't think
You
so.
did see the robbery.
But they witnessed the robbery, so, and that's what kind of
Made them step up.
you know, right, that's what beefed up the security, where they got to the point where they had to call SWAT out here. They had the big SWAT tank sitting in the middle of the street. You know, they had their shields and all of that. So they was about to, what they call it, flash bomb the house.
Wow.
Blow the windows
So
out.
they was gonna blow the windows out, snatch the door off, all of that. And that's the thing, the mama came down here saying they had babies in the house. So they walked out with the babies. And that's what made the first two boys surrender. But they put the pressure on them because they wasn't going nowhere. They had a snack table out here, all of that. They was gonna wait it out.
Wait it out.
Yeah.
Well, we're thankful for the mail carrier that stepped forward, and that lets you know that's what it takes.
Right,
People
and that's
have to
exactly what it takes. That's exactly what it takes because the police can only do so much, and they not gonna just sit in the neighborhood all day and wait for something to happen. You know, we are the eyes and the ears of this community, so you know when we have to start policing our own community.
That's right.
And, you know, you got concealed carry now. So if you got law-abiding citizens that's armed and have a right and a license to carry, you know, you can start securing your own neighborhood. You know, and it's not the police's job to sit around all day and dictate what happens in our community.
Especially when the residents know where the problem is.
And then at the same time, you got police officers that's not these Europeans, you know, they from other nationalities that's coming over here in our community. And they don't always necessarily treat our people the right way. You know, and we can't allow them to just come over here because they feel like, you know, if it's up to them to come over here and do whatever they want to do.
Yeah.
You know, and that's, you know, we got police brutality and all these things going on in our communities. You know, we need to have a relationship. That's why I'm glad that it's a sergeant that stays right here.
Yeah.
And he's one of our people.
Yeah.
And he's concerned. He's like, he bought that house, but he said, I like the community so much, I decided to move in the house. So he's like, I'm not going to allow, I like the neighborhood, I'm not going to allow these boys to tear this neighborhood down. So
that's the kind of
and we need more of that.
Yeah.
You know, we talked to the sergeant. You know, he was a white shirt. We talked to him, and like Jamal Green was out here, and you know, we had some other activists out here. So that's what it takes. We got to start coming together and just really working together as a family, really, ultimately. A community is really a family. You know what I'm saying? So we got to come together and be concerned about what's going on in our communities more. And that way, we really don't have to depend so much on the police.
That should be the last resort.
That's the last resort because they're going to react to the situation. We come in and say, look, these are the people that we're looking for. You know what I'm saying? They stay in that house. This is what they done did. And we want them out of here.
Right. That's right. What it takes. Yes. Well, thanks so much.
Oh, no problem.
We appreciate you. This is Naima Latif with the Media Connection News. Greetings. Today, we're launching our weekly video blog, inviting you to join us on our daily discussions on the Female Solution radio show. The world is in a state of grief and outrage over the acts of senseless violence, acts of terrorism that took the lives of scores of people. How do we stop the violence? Well, the roots of terrorism are the same as the roots of gang violence. And we'll talk about that this week on The Female Solution as we, the global transformers, discuss the real solutions. In order for us to change the reaction, we must first change the action. And terrorism is a reaction, just as gang violence is a reaction to a system that creates a desperation, an anger, and a disregard for life. We do have the power to end the violence, and we'll talk about that every day this week on The Female Solution as we look at those who are running for public office. We want you to join us on our daily discussions. Give us a call, 347-539-5639. Press 1 when you're ready to speak, and we'll add you to our discussion of the topics that are changing this world. You can hear us every day live, 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. Central Standard Time at www.blogtalkradio.com/the-female-solution.
Even when you sit and talk to them, when they leave you and they go home, their home life is just so bad.
Oh, yeah,
that's true. You know what I'm saying? So there's so many angles to it.
Yeah.
But still, it's you know, vices don't have to be tolerated, especially in a community like this. You know, in any community for that matter. But you know, still ain't got to tolerate the foolery that they do.
Don't know how to be parents.
Right. I mean, you see that? They mama, she came down like y'all ain't coming in the house. She know what they doing. She know what they doing. They ran in the house with them. And first thing she said, "Here go my lawyer number. Y'all go ahead."
But she had that right though. She had that right.
the right.
She got that right. That's all right though. You know, that's all right. Even though you can't be covering up. That's why I tell people.
Now the girl, they let her go. The girl just walked. The girl that had the baby, she just walked back in the house.
Okay. They know who they wanted. Then.
Yeah, so they probably just was holding her.
Yeah.
But they had cuffed her right here.
Like I said last night on J Mall Facebook thing, I said, you guys are harboring these criminals, your sons, your daughters sleeping on y'all couch, and y'all know they out here killing people, and robbing people. You know, you know, parents know what your children. You know.
And a lot of, you got these parents be young.
Yeah.
Some of these parents, man, they be having these shorties go out here do this stuff, man. Have them out here
Smoking weed with them.
Smoking with them.
Yeah,
man. Because they don't be that much younger than
Don't
that.
care. That's it. They
Some
don't
of them don't even love their kids. They just got them to get a check.
They don't care. Absolutely.
You gotta love a child. You can buy a child anything, but you gotta give them love. That's true.
Yeah. And love come in the form of just, we know that.
It don't cost nothing to take them down.
It's something I said on Facebook. Discipline without love create problems. That's all it is. You gotta have discipline and love. You gotta have some people just discipline their child, but they don't have no love. There's no love. I bet you no. You need love. You know what I'm saying?
Love. They need motivation. They need a parent that's gonna motivate them. That's gonna believe in them. Not telling them, oh, that's not gonna work. Support. One thing whites and Jews do, they support their kids. Whatever they want to be. They want to be a musician. They go invest in them. They tell them what they need to do, and they go buy the
And another
instruments.
thing they do, they make them from an early age earn what they want. It's not just given to them.
Right.
They earn. They go to work to their businesses with them. They teach them. They bring them up like that. Our kids, they just want. They just